over the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. From the prophet Jeremiah. Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show. We talk, we play you music, and encourage you to create. This season, we invite you to join us as we create around a central theme each episode. We encourage you to find the path by making.
Well, welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show, everybody. I'm Benjamin, and this is Heidi, and this is episode 7.
I'm glad you know that because I don't.
Yeah.
I just know it's the Chrysalis.
The Chrysalis episode. Yeah, we want to say thank you to our patrons who support us each month. If you want to become a part of that community, just go to patreon.com and search for Chasing Ebenezer and pick whatever amount you want to use to support us. You can get some perks from that.
Yes, and for those who are patrons, some of you have still not redeemed your perks.
We're glad you
and we
love
do
us
try
that
to
much,
track you
but
down a little bit. We try not to be stalkers at all, but we want you to get things like if you're not getting your demos, or if you have a show topic idea to pitch us, if you have a lesson of some kind, we want to get that stuff going for you. So message us, and we'd be happy to do that. Thank you for helping us. We've got a new camera again that we've been using. It's so much nicer.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
it's
so
great.
Thank you so much for supporting us. It's amazing.
Yeah. So the theme of this show for this year is Find the Path by Making. So the question is, what is your creativity teaching you this month?
I am really learning how much my students have to teach me because I teach lessons and I screw up in front of them all the time, or they catch me doing something that I don't realize I missed. And it is a really humbling but important place as a teacher to let your students teach you, and just the creativity that my students have too, how much we need each other, because some of the things that they've come up with, I never would have come up with on my own. And I just really appreciate learning from other people who are learning.
I remember I did not learn music theory or scales until after I had a student who asked me, hey, what is the Mixolydian blah, blah? It just gave me a list of scales, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't use those. And then I started using them, and I tell people that it helped me start doing on purpose the things I did by accident.
There you go. Yeah, I learned almost no music theory till I was an adult, and I'm still learning it. So, yeah, it sounds kind of boring.
But it is so fascinating, especially if you're a musician and you learn how to make... Anyway, I'm not going to get into that.
This is not a music theory episode, so props to all you out there who are good at it. So
I was inspired. I mean, my creativity taught me something, but I was inspired by other people's creativity this week. We got to open...
Similar then.
Yeah, we got to open for an Irish band called Socks in the Frying Pan.
Who I'm just calling Socks.
You can do that.
Because I like to pretend that I know them, and we're good
on
buddies.
Familiar terms.
More than just meeting them one time.
So just call us Chasing or Ebenezer. That's fine. But they were amazing. They were so good.
Absolutely.
Go Spotify, YouTube, whatever you use.
Amazing.
And listen to them.
They were wonderful.
Were really inspiring. But what happened in that show was I constantly am getting guitar pedals. If you're a guitarist, you understand this struggle. And I bought myself a pedal years ago.
Boring. Sorry, no,
myself.
that was insulting. Not boring. Not boring.
That I thought would shape my tone, and it did, but not for the better. And somebody else had been telling me that for a long time.
Who could that have been?
But I just thought, well, your ears are just too orchestra oriented. You don't know. And then
Oh, really? I want to hear the inner workings of your mind, what you thought every time that I'd be like,
your ears hear frequencies that no one else hears. That was what I was believing myself. But then the sound person who was doing our sound check was like, I'm just having a hard time getting a good tone out of this, blah, blah, blah. And I decided to take everything of that pedal out of my board, and all of a sudden my guitar sounded better.
I am doing my best not to appear very smug and satisfied.
Okay. So I learned through trial and error that I was wrong about that pedal making my guitar tone better. So now it is no longer on my pedal board, and my guitar sounds better already. So I don't know if I can quantify what that taught me.
I'm not going to say that your wife is frequently right, because
that
would be
is teaching
a self-serving.
me that my partner in music is often right, and I need to listen to her.
For those, I did not understand what pedals were for with music. So can you give a really brief explanation if people don't know what you mean about pedals?
I've had practice in this because my mom literally asked me this question a few hours ago.
Oh, okay. So there are others who,
what they do is that they help your instrument when it's plugged in sound different, whether
to a sound
system, it or an amplifier. It'll make it. You can add echoes or overdrive, like distortion sounds. It can improve and enhance the quality, like it can bring out some of the lower frequencies, some of the higher frequencies.
Because every room is different as well. So sometimes the same exact instrument plugged into a sound system in one room can sound completely different in another room.
It's extremely maddening, but it's true. And it's all at the control of your feet. So you can just...
So that's one thing. Okay,
yes,
because I just kept saying, what are all these pedals for? Why do we need so many pedals?
You just need one more. That's all.
Just always need one more.
Guitars.
Thank you for that explanation of music pedals.
So I learned that, and then just watching these guys play, it really motivated me to want to learn some more Irish music and cover them. Because the beautiful thing about covers is that you can make them sound like us versus like somebody else. So
they also got you to dance.
Yeah.
That is a high compliment.
It's
yeah.
It's true.
Socks in the frying pan. Check them out.
Yeah. So the word for this month is the word chrysalis, or if you're like me who has a hard time spelling that word, cocoon.
Which is also a hard word to spell.
Yeah. You don't know how many double letters there are. So anyway, that is the show that the word that we're creating from this month, and here's what we got for you. First thing that comes to mind when you think of chrysalis.
I know it's not correct, but I think of crystals first. Okay. But I think that there is kind of an interesting transparency or type of reflection that crystals have, that when the chrysalis kind of becomes a little bit more transparent, to me it kind of can resemble that crystal effect too.
I think about just little things hanging from trees and dramatic change going on, but not really being able to see the change. You just see the shell outside. I really resonate with that imagery because I think it's really true to life, because we change. To live is to change.
And we can't always necessarily see the change that's happening on the inside. If we're becoming more patient, it's usually by acts of impatience that happen in order for us to become more patient. So sometimes the process looks nothing like the change that's actually happening, and there's not always a physical representation as the process is happening.
One of the things I've learned about a chrysalis is that when it is time for a butterfly to come out, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to leave the cocoon, but that struggle is important. That if someone were to help that butterfly get out of the cocoon, it would die because its wings would not develop the strength it needs to fly and to get away. So chrysalis is a place of being reformed, but it's also a place of struggle. It's uncomfortable. Have you kind of undergone your own cocooning process where you've been in a season of waiting and change, but have come out on the other side different?
Well, I think that when it comes to waiting, I think it was a really long time. I mean, years before we were able to finally buy a home, and it was years and years of struggling to figure out how it might happen. And even now, this is not the home that we would have chosen, but this is what we could afford, and it's such a gift. So yeah, it may not be the 100% most perfect thing we can envision, but it is good, and it is so appreciated after years and years of trying to figure out how on earth how are we ever going to buy a home. An area I think about personally that I've changed about a lot is when I was a young adult, when you and I first got married, being alone was just, I couldn't stand it. Could not want to be alone. And now I really enjoy being alone. I've learned to be able to be comfortable with myself. And so I really value that, because that's when I do a lot of creating, a lot of praying, a lot of just working on things that I don't need other people to do. So that took a very, very long time of learning how to be alone with oneself.
I think a major change happened when we went and recorded our first album. I went into the process thinking I knew how to I had all the musicality down, and the first few months, even like the first year, was this process of unlearning, learning how to play to a metronome, learning how to sing with you well. And all of that was so frustrating because there were so many moments where I would do it wrong, I would struggle, and then eventually it just clicked over. And so much of what I learned in that time of trial and error comes a lot more naturally now to me. How is the idea of cocoon or chrysalis related to creativity and making art?
Well, a lot of it looks really gross and awkward and is not ready to be shown to people, and there's struggle and frustration, and oh man, what a journey. I think that there is the art that you're creating, and there's also the artist in you that is being developed. So it's important to have in mind that the work might be struggle and all that, but the person that you're becoming is also an art piece. So being gentle and kind with yourself and embracing the fact that you are a created work of art that is growing and changing, think that's really important to remember, and every other person you're around as well is a growing piece of art that is changing and has yucky, weird, awkward, uncomfortable stages. And they're also on their own journey of growing into the art that they are. So just be gracious to yourself and kind to yourself. Here is the art piece that I have made, and it's printable for all of our donating patrons. This is called Flight Plan, inspired by the whimsical way that butterflies move about as they go about their day. So here's a short story I wrote in thinking about our topic for the month. This is called The Body. Field Researcher's Log, Planet Earth, Northern Hemisphere, Dr. Ariella Gavange. Nothing is as it should be. The body I saw in the garden mere weeks ago bears no resemblance to this current life form. I first spotted the creature when my ship arrived on the planet on the night of the full lunar. Upon first sighting of the creature, there was no mistaking its vitality as it crawled through lush grass. It appeared to hold no concern for the transformation that was about to commence. But weeks later, the once active creature is barely alive. An occasional pulse of the soft pod that it has spun to encase itself, it tells me there is still oxygen being utilized. But if you could see the struggle, the creature is hanging on for dear life. And its skin, over the past day or so, the skin, it's become translucent, and I'm not sure if this change in appearance makes it horrific or beautiful. At this point in my investigation, I must confess a general sense of helplessness. As a scientist whose sole mission is to explore and to observe, I am prohibited from intervening in the behavior of any of Earth's life forms. This, however, has proven to be more challenging of a task than I had anticipated. My inability to aid the suffering creature feels like failure. And yet, even now as I sit in quiet observation, something is happening. The creature that has been nearly catatonic appears to be reviving, like a bird cracking through the shell of an egg. The thin membrane that's been protecting it for a few weeks is gradually tearing away, and the creature that is emerging now bears no resemblance to that worm-like body from the garden. It is not a bird hatching from an egg, but there are wings. How does a worm acquire wings in a span of a few weeks? The crawling worm is now a flying thing. I do not understand how a creature can transform into an entirely different creature by doing nothing other than hiding away in darkness. This confounds anything I have seen on our planet, and yet I can't deny what I am observing. As much as I hate to admit it, I am baffled.
1, 2, here we go. I was born into a world where trouble reigns all around. Promises of innocence and progress gone and let me down. I walk outside and close my eyes. The breeze, it clears my mind. Barefoot on this earth I will be still, while the tyrants chase significance and rob our children blind. I stand and watch the monarchs fly. Watch the monarchs fly. While building castles in the sand, they forget about the tide. See the power slipping through their hands with the passing of time. Walk outside and close my eyes. The breeze, it clears my mind. Barefoot on this earth I will be still, while tyrants chase significance and rob the children blind. I stand and watch the monarchs fly. Watch the monarchs fly. I was born for a whirlwind land and lion, and live as one tribe, where a child can play with a cobra and only evil dies. I walk outside and close my eyes. This promise clears my mind. Barefoot on this earth we're waiting still, while traitors chase the transience of a time that passes by. I'll stand and watch the monarchs fly. Watch the monarchs fly. Watch the monarchs, watch the monarchs. Watch the monarchs, watch the monarchs. Watch the monarchs, watch the monarchs. Watch the monarchs. Well, that's our show. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you're creating stuff with these words and these prompts, we would love for you to share them with us. You can share it in the comment section. You can send us a private message if you don't want anybody else seeing it. Whatever. We just want to know. We want to know because our desire is to always inspire your creativity and not just showcase our own. You got any prompts for us for this month?
I suppose I might.
Okay. Bring it on.
Well, you could do what I did and research and learn more about the Chrysalis process. It's pretty disgusting when I started reading it. You could create something with different body parts in the wrong places, or you could do something, maybe get a Mr. Potato Head.
I was thinking that.
Or do something cool with that. I think I love Mr. Potato Head. There's a soft place in my heart for Mr. Potato Head.
No, those are great.
I think the idea of something hidden. So you could maybe you could create a game or something. You could play hide and seek. Why not?
Yes.
Why not play
Especially
hide
if
and
you
go
work
seek?
at an office during your lunch break, like don't tell anybody. Just get you and somebody else and play hide and seek at your work.
Might be your own private enjoyment.
What are
We
you
don't
doing?
want to give anyone a heart attack.
No one's seeing
We
me.
don't want to give anyone a heart attack. You could watch Cocoon.
Yes, you could. You could.
You could find, I don't know if it's butterfly. It's not probably quite butterfly season yet, but you could kind of maybe research and make a plan for visiting some butterfly places in your area for when there are those butterfly hatchings.
Yeah. You could get an adult coloring book that has butterflies in it.
Great idea.
And get their wings looking all neat and colorful.
Ooh, I like the idea.
You could even do origami butterflies.
Yes. I have even been taught to do one.
I know.
Which is
so have I.
amazing. Just a few ideas there.
Yeah. And next month's word is going to be, you came up with it.
I would like to create around the word luminescence.
Luminescence.
I love that word very, very much.
Great.
You don't like my word?
I like the word. My brain is breaking as to how to spell it, but that's okay.
Oh, I can spell that one easier than chrysalis and cocoon.
True.
But it's also another long word of interesting combinations of letters.
All right. Well, hey, that is our show. Happy creating, and we will see you next month. All right. Bye.